So there is definitely a sense of, oh crap, whenever one of your favorite weapons becomes overly popular in Warframe, isn't there? I've seen it over the years, countless comments on my videos saying thanks, this is now getting nerfed, potato, and I get it, I really do. So when yesterday's patch brought with it a fix to an interaction between my favorite melee weapon, the Incarnon Dual Ichor, and the Arcane Melee Influence, if it was unexpected, I probably would be a little bit annoyed, but I knew it was coming. Hell, I think the whole Warframe community knew it was coming. It was pretty damn busted, and a fix was justified. Having the Incarnon gas clouds cause a chain effect that would spread more gas clouds and status effects throughout an entire room and clean it of all enemies was definitely not intended. So in case you didn't know how melee influence worked, on a melee electrical status effect, you had a 20% chance for an elemental melee status effect to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds. This was causing the gas clouds from the Incarnon mode to spread across an entire room. Now, melee influence also worked amazingly with Mirage and her clones, who could also proc it, but apparently also caused the game to crash because of the sheer amount of stuff that would be on screen, so that's also been changed, so your PCs can now rest easy. Clones can no longer proc melee influence. Now Siren, however, with the Incarnon Ichors was even more busted. Spores, stripping armor on enemies on top of the Incarnon gas clouds also being spread across a room because of melee influence was a war crime of an insane magnitude. So they've changed how melee influence interacts now with the Incarnon Dual Ichors. This is the new wording. Melee influence is intended to trigger on melee electrical status and not on a secondary effect, as they are not considered a melee hit. Since the toxic fields deal damage independently of melee attacks, it does not meet the Arcane's criteria of triggering only if the electrical status originates from the weapon in hand. So previously the gas clouds from the Incarnon which it would create were also triggering the Arcane's effect and spreading more gas clouds across the map on top of the other status effects that it was already spreading. Now the Arcane's ability to spread effects is only going to happen from your melee weapon physically hitting an enemy when it also causes an electrical proc. That's what I'm getting from the wording. Now, has it killed the Arcane with the Dual Ichors? Nope. Is it still very, very powerful? Yep. In fact, with Siren, who was one of the Warframes using this setup the most, there is still something triggering clouds to go across the room. I've had instances this morning where I left the room, went away, killed enemies, like this on screen right now, then walked back into the room, and the opposite side of the room, clouds had started to drop and started to spread from dead enemies far away from where I ever was. And I don't know if it's Siren's spores, I don't know if it's a weird venom dose interaction, or if it's a contagious bond from my sentinel that is spreading it instead, but something is still spreading them. It's not as much as before, not nearly as much, but maybe someone who isn't a caveman like me, maybe someone like Engineer, who understands the interactions way better than I ever could, will find out what is spreading them. Bottom line is, the Arcane is still incredibly powerful on the Incarnon Dual Ichors, and it seems to be more confined of an area where the clouds will spread, but it is still very, very effective, especially if you're using the Nautilus Sentinel, who can group enemies up into a nice big bunch in on top of those clouds and kill them really, really quickly. But the Arcane has changed. It's not the end of the world. It is still incredibly powerful. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Maybe you know what the interaction is with Siren as to why those clouds are still spreading across the room. Have a great day. Have a great week. And as always, thanks for watching.